welcome back
Hello,
to
everybody.
part 2, where we are going to be talking about optimize, our second step of our system, and how to optimize the breakthrough that you got.
Yep, we want to give you a process to maximize the impact of that breakthrough, build on it, for it to continue to grow and develop, and it's just the next logical stage that comes following the breakthrough.
Yeah, we don't want to just have a breakthrough and then be like, oh, that was a great breakthrough, and kind of move on. You actually want to harness the power of that breakthrough to maximize its potential. That is really what's key. Oftentimes, what we see is people get breakthroughs and they kind of just go from breakthrough to breakthrough, but they don't really know how to maximize the breakthrough. Nobody really talks about that.
I look at it as maximizing or increasing the impact of that breakthrough. So it has a farther reach.
Right.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you've got to do is really capitalize on the momentum. So when you think about something breaking through a wall, it doesn't just all of a sudden stop, right? There is movement happening in breakthrough, and there is a lot of pressure that is placed on the thing that you are breaking through. And so on the other side of that breakthrough is a potential for a lot of momentum. And so you want to capitalize on that. So that's what we're talking about with optimizing your breakthrough. And, setting your intention towards maximizing that, towards that momentum, not just I need to get the breakthrough, but I need to get the breakthrough and really take all that speed and that momentum and that force all the way until it's at the end of its potential.
So it involves establishing some deliberate, consistent actions or developing new habits that continue to press forward. You take advantage of that forward momentum, but you don't let it die down. You keep pressing. So we talk about doing those kinds of things, establishing almost a game plan on how to keep that momentum moving forward. And it's really important that you need to, when you do this, be very, very intentional to be true to your word, to have personal internal integrity. I've achieved this breakthrough, and now I'm going to maximize it for greater impact by doing X, Y, and Z things. You're going to establish some new protocols or systems, behaviors, habits, and be true to those. Don't treat them like the vast majority of the world does their New Year's resolution. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, it kind of falls to the wayside. Be disciplined.
Yeah, and I like, the phrase, have a decided heart. So when you have a breakthrough, there should be a very definite yes to some things and no to other things. That literally should cut options off from old habits, old mindsets, old beliefs, right? And a very strong yes towards other things. And one of our mentors often uses this analogy, and I always get a kind of a chuckle out of it, is when she broke through singlehood into marriage, right? There was a strong yes to one person, to one thing. And the yes to singlehood and a million other men out there went away, right? We have to have that same mentality in our breakthroughs if we're really going to maximize them, that the thing that it broke through is now a no. It is a non-option. And the thing that we broke into is our new yes.
Yeah, your yes, when you decide, this is actually buried in the etymology of the word decide. When I decide, I cut off all other future options except this thing that I'm choosing.
Right.
That's the point we're trying to make.
Yeah. So when doing that, what's really good is to set goals and have milestones, right? Like keep yourself moving forward in that momentum. Don't just think that it's going to happen by itself. You have to set intentional goals, intentional milestones. Don't do the big one way out here, all right? Because then we Dennis the Menace and get off path.
It establishes a roadmap.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly.
milestones, it's important to have the final goal, yes, what ultimately I'm trying to achieve, but it's really important to have intermittent waypoints or milestones that help confirm that you're on track,
Right.
not off course, and also achieving things on the way to the big thing builds confidence.
Yeah, and that's huge to
Yeah.
keeping motivation up, right? And then the other thing that you want to do is embrace accountability. Now, I want to address this word because it's been misused and abused for far too long. We're not talking about accountability to not doing something, but the accountability, your ability to account for the good things that you're going through, right? We know that Paul addressed Timothy in Scripture and called him out in an accountability for the gifts that were given to him. It wasn't that he was doing bad, but are you fulfilling your potential? And so the accountability to the potential of that breakthrough is really what we're talking about.
Typically, the way this makes sense for me is when most people think of having an accountability partner, their mind immediately shifts to the negative.
Right.
I have someone who's going to smack me when I fall short. He's going to call me out when I make a mistake.
Right.
We're flipping that on its head. The accountability partner is the most effective if you see them from the positive light of reinforcing all the things you're wanting to achieve, becoming an encourager and a cheerleader and someone who recognizes achievements when they occur, right, speaks the gold into you and keeps you moving in that direction.
Yeah, it's more the, check in, hey, what step or what 2 steps did you make today towards your goal? Not, hey, did you not fall off the wagon? Yeah. So that's really, really crucial in creating accountability because that's actually going to keep us motivated. It's going to keep us going in a positive direction, a positive mindset, the whole 9 yards. So techniques around goal setting, one of the things that we teach, I absolutely love, is SMART goals. SMART, another acronym, so you're making them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That is a good goal to set. And, you break that down into the smaller, manageable goals, the milestones that Dave was talking about to keep you going, and share that SMART goal with your accountability partner.
We've probably all heard of SMART goals before, but how many of us diligently use them?
Right.
Because it can be a game changer.
Absolutely, as a game changer. It's why everybody knows about them because they really do work. So in that SMART goal, like I said, working into it, these regular check-ins, the support, another thing that's really important in this process is practicing gratitude and celebrating the small wins, the small steps forward. Don't wait to celebrate the big goal, but celebrate those small steps as you break through. Sure, we have a celebration that you actually broke through, but to keep that momentum going, to keep that motivation going, we also want to learn how to celebrate these milestones. I mean, we want to maximize this momentum and all of these little things that we're talking about. Absolutely do that.
And I think the most important time to intentionally practice gratitude is when you're in the midst of struggling with something. Not when you've just had an achievement and you want to celebrate. That's great. You need to celebrate. But in the midst of a struggle where parts of you are wanting to get dejected, depressed, frustrated, intentionally take a moment, step back, breathe, and change the context, change your perspective, and find things that you can truly be grateful for and celebrate.
Absolutely.
And it changes, again, it changes the atmosphere inside your mind and how you are navigating through the hard parts.
Yeah. So some tools for helping you optimize setting goals, creating new habits, all that kind of stuff. If you're techie, there are all kinds of goal setting apps, Trello, Asana. And then if you're, same thing with habit tracking apps. I mean, there's even time tracking apps you can put on your computer to see if you get distracted. But there's lots of software out there. If you're techie, if you're old school.
If you're not techie or old school, buy yourself a journal.
Yeah.
Don't go
and we have a Power Couple journal you can use as well, but
it's
any
awesome.
journal.
But go get yourself a journal, a nice journal. Not just some 3-ring binder that you took to high school chemistry class. Get yourself a nice journal and live in it every day. Write down your goals, track your goals, establish in writing the habits that you are working on forging after your breakthrough, all those kinds of things. And journal your thoughts, journal your gratitude exercises. I mean,
yeah, your goals, your breakthroughs, all of that, right? And then if you're somewhat techie, you're not techie, but you're somewhat techie, then you can take that journal and actually put little reminders, alarms, stuff like that in your cell phone that will pop up. Mm-hmm. That really helps too. You don't have to get super fancy on super techie stuff, but if you're a little techie, you can at least add that to your journal process. If you're a creative, okay, create a vision board or a goal board, whatever you want to call it. Create one together. That's an amazing exercise.
It's a great exercise to do as a couple.
Yeah.
A vision board or a goal board. And
yeah.
it just solidifies, the work that you're doing together. It's really cool.
Yeah. And last but absolutely not least, another thing is to get involved in like a couples workshop or, coaching or whatever. Some of the stuff that we do, things that we've got like Power Couple Hub and our Power Couple commissioning program and things like that will really help move you forward on these if you need a mentor.
And they can, what I like about them is one of the things that not only bring you into clear focus, greater cohesiveness between you, but they can accelerate the process.
Absolutely. So your exercise for optimization is actually pretty simple. And we hear about athletes doing it, success people doing it all the time. The first step is visualization. So when you have created that breakthrough, I want you to spend a few minutes visualizing yourself actually achieving that goal out here and experience the positive emotions, the dreams, the ideation that happens of what life will be like on this side of the breakthrough process, right? Not just breaking through the wall, but we're going to turn this into a whole process of maximizing that potential momentum in what that will look like at the end of its momentum.
It's really powerful and it can be hugely motivational.
Yeah. And just create a daily routine for that. It can just be actually, whether you wake up in the morning and you just go through it for a couple of minutes while you're getting ready, while you're in the shower, while you're driving to work, any number of things, but just wherever it's convenient, create a daily routine of that visualization exercise, and it can just be a game changer.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you in video 3.